Alright, let's go on and style our project. Now it's time to move on and work on card itself. At this time, as you see, it's hidden using display none, so let's get rid of it. Then define height and width as 100%. Then I want to change background color and make it white for a while because I want to make elements visible inside it. So let's define background color as FFF. Like card's parent element, I want to assign to it border radius with the same value. So you can write here either 5 pixels or you can just use value called inherit. It allows us to inherit value from parent element, and actually it's a better way because if you need to change value for parent element, then it will be automatically changed for child element as well. Alright, next we want to take care of layout of elements placed inside card. For that I'm going to use CSS Flexbox, which is really great and powerful one-dimensional layout module. So let's make card as a flex container using display flex. As you see, elements are placed horizontally in a row because by default flex direction is set as a row. We need to place them vertically, and for that we have to make flex direction as a column. Alright, now I want to center elements horizontally. For that, in general, we use justify content, but now because of that we changed flex direction from row into column. We need to use align items with value center. And in order to make some space between elements, let's use justify content with space between. So for now, space is not quite visible because image takes up large space, but we will take care of it in a second. Let's select image element with class name card.img. First of all, let's define width and height as 200 pixels. I want to make image as a circle. For that we need to use border radius with value 50%. Sometimes when we define height for image manually, it's getting stretched and loses its quality. For example, if we make height of image as 400 pixels, that image will be stretched and won't be looking good. In order to fix that, in CSS we have property called object fit, which should have value cover. So as you see, now problem is solved. In our case, we didn't have this problem because image had shape of square. But in case of different image size, I mean when you use your own image and it doesn't have shape of square, then you would have this problem. But you already know how to fix that. You just need to use object fit with value cover. Alright, let's get back here to 100 pixels. Next, I'm going to place image a little bit down. Let's do it using margin top with value of 15 pixels. Before we go on styling image, I want to change background of card. Instead of white color, I'm going to use linear gradient. Let's insert here two different colors. First one is going to be green color, and I want to use here RGBA value. Let's insert here 21, then 199, then write 30, and opacity 0.8. And for second one, let's insert red color, write 233, then 67, then again 67, and opacity 0.8. Alright, so it already looks nice, but actually that's not what we want. We don't need here smooth transition. I want top part of card to be green and bottom one to be red. For that we have to add here some additional values. If we insert here 50%, then half of card will be green, and after 50% we will have gradient of green and red colors. So they will be mixed up after half of card. In order to make second part of card red without color mixing, we need to add to it value from 0 to 50%. Let's write here 0. And you see that second part became red. Alright, last thing regarding background is to change degree of transition. By default it's 180 degrees. If we write here that value, then nothing will be changed. But if we write, let's say, 90 degrees, then transition will go from left to right. In this case, I'm going to use 190 degrees, which will create this nice effect. Alright, that's it about background of card wrapper. Let's go back to card image. I'm going to create border for it. Right, border with values 2 pixels, solid, and with color white. And also create some padding, right, padding 10 pixels. As you see, we have gap between border and image, and I think it looks good. The last thing regarding image is to create shadow effect. Let's use here box shadow. Actually, we already used it in previous lecture, and now I want to remind you how its values work. First one defines horizontal, I mean X direction, right, let's say 20 pixels. Second value is for vertical, Y direction. Let's write here 30 pixels. And third value shows how blurry we want shadow to be. Let's use here 50 pixels. And lastly, we need color of shadow. I'm going to use RGBA value. Right, black color 0, 0, 0, and opacity 0.5. So that's the way how those values work. Actually, we can use here negative values, which allows us to change directions. I mean, by default, we have shadow going to the right side, but if we change first value and write minus 20 pixels, then we will have shadow going to the left side. Same happens if we use negative value for second one. Alright, in our case, I want to make first two values as zeros. As for third one, let's leave here 50 pixels. In this case, shadow will be distributed equally on all sides. Alright, so with card image we are done. It's time to move on and start styling the rest of the elements. And let's do it in the next lecture.